If you're watching this, it's not random. When an ancestral calling awakens, life begins to shift in ways you can't explain. And if you've been feeling this deep inner pull, stay until the end. The final sign is the one most people recognize only after everything in their life changes. Today, you'll discover the 7 signs that your ancestral calling is waking up. These signs reveal that you're not just here for yourself. You're part of a spiritual lineage that has chosen you to continue its work. So take a breath, relax your shoulders, and let's begin with the first sign. First sign, you've always felt older than your age. Since childhood, you carried a kind of wisdom that didn't match your age. While others acted without thinking, you observed. You noticed emotions, patterns, energies. You weren't fully in the moment. You were slightly above it, watching, understanding, sensing. This is one of the earliest markers of an ancestral calling, because souls who carry lineage wisdom arrive already activated. They don't need life to teach them everything. Part of their knowing comes preloaded, inherited spiritually rather than learned. Maybe you were the child who felt responsible for others, the one who comforted adults, or the one who understood things no one explained. This is not maturity, it's memory. Your soul remembers where it came from. And even at a young age, you carried the energy of someone much older, much deeper, much more experienced. People with ancestral callings start life as if they are picking up a story already in motion, because they are. Second sign, you carry emotional patterns that didn't start with you. One of the strongest signs of an awakened ancestral mission is when you begin feeling emotions, fears, or responsibilities that don't match your personal history. You may find yourself healing traumas that were never yours, breaking generational patterns you didn't create, carrying guilt or fear that seems to come from nowhere, or becoming the one who ends cycles your family repeated for decades. This happens because ancestral callings activate through emotional inheritance. You don't just receive your family's DNA, you receive their unfinished emotional work, their unspoken pain, their unresolved lessons. But here's the difference. You are the one strong enough to end what began before you. You become the breaker of patterns, the healer of wounds, the one who chooses differently. And without knowing why, you start carrying the responsibility of elevating the entire lineage. It's heavy, but it's also sacred, because you are transforming the past every time you heal something in the present. Third sign, before major transitions, you feel an invisible pressure guiding you. This is one of the most powerful indicators. People with ancestral callings experience a kind of inner push whenever they're approaching the next stage of their mission. It doesn't come from logic. It comes from energy. Maybe you've felt a sudden urge to move, change, or leave, discomfort in situations that once felt normal, a strange pressure in your chest or intuition, a whisper inside telling you, it's time, or an unexplainable certainty that something must shift. This pressure is not fear, it's guidance. Your ancestors, your higher self, your lineage, they all begin directing you toward the environments where your mission can activate. And this is why certain things start feeling too small for you. Certain friendships feel outdated. Certain lifestyles feel misaligned. Certain places feel energetically cramped. You're not being pushed away from your old life. You're being pulled toward your true path. Fourth sign, people naturally seek you for healing, comfort, or clarity. You don't ask for it. You don't try to be a guide. Yet people feel safe around you, often more than you feel safe around yourself. Strangers open up to you. Friends confess their deepest wounds. People feel lighter just by talking to you. This isn't accidental. This is because your energy carries ancestral codes of wisdom and protection. Those who came before you were spiritual protectors, healers, intuitive leaders, emotional anchors, guides within their communities, and those qualities didn't disappear. They were passed down to you. This is why your presence soothes others. This is why people see something in you they can't explain. This is why you often become the emotional center of your social circle. Even when you feel broken, others feel whole around you. That is the paradox of ancestral callings. Fifth sign, you feel the presence of your ancestors during still moments. When an ancestral calling awakens, the veil between you and your lineage becomes thinner. You may feel chills at random moments, warmth on your shoulders, pressure near your spine, dreams of ancestors you never met, symbols, numbers, or repeated signs, sudden intuitive messages, or a sense of company when you're alone. This is not imagination. This is connection. Your ancestors communicate in ways the physical world can receive. Sensations, synchronicities, emotions, and dreams. They guide your decisions. They warn you of danger. They celebrate your progress. And they walk with you when you step into the unknown. When you feel their presence, it's because your calling is not only waking up, it's getting organized. Your lineage is preparing you for the path ahead. Sixth sign, you are the first in your family to choose a completely different path. You don't follow the family script. You don't repeat the expected roles. You don't walk the same path everyone else considered normal. You always felt like the one who didn't fit, spiritually, emotionally, socially, or even professionally. But this is not misalignment. This is mission. Every lineage eventually reaches a point where old patterns must evolve. And when that moment comes, one soul is chosen to carry the line into a new direction. That soul is the outlier, the visionary, the one who doesn't accept this is just how things are, the one who breaks rules, asks questions, and follows intuition instead of tradition. Your difference is not a flaw. It is the proof of your assignment. You were never meant to repeat the past. You were meant to redirect it. Final sign. Your life falls apart right before your true purpose activates. This is the most intense and unmistakable sign. And nearly every person with an ancestral calling experiences it. Right before the mission activates, life begins to collapse. Relationships fall away. Plans stop working. Old identities dissolve. Emotional breakdowns appear. You feel lost, unanchored, disoriented. Everything familiar begins to disappear. This is not random destruction. It is ancestral initiation. Your lineage clears the path by removing anything that cannot accompany you into your purpose. People, habits, environments, beliefs, all of it is stripped away so you can rise without the weight of what came before. It is painful, it is confusing, but it is precise. Everything you lose during this stage is part of a larger restructuring. The breakdown is not the end of your path. It is the beginning of your destiny. When your life collapses, the calling stops whispering. It starts commanding. Rise, it's your turn now. Take one deep breath. Feel your chest rise. And slowly exhale. If these signs resonated with you, then you're not just healing yourself. You're healing generations. You're completing stories that began long before you arrived. And you're becoming the version your ancestors dreamed of. Tell me in the comments, which sign touched you the most today? Your answer helps this message reach others who carry the same calling.